just point to the logo on my chest and tell them, Slam the ego, slam the ego, slam the ego, slam the ay. Hit it up hard, hit it with strike. From the national anthem to the bottom of the night. Amen. Slam the ego, slam the ego, slam the ego, slam the ay. You already know what's up. What's that? Another home run. We should know the job ain't done till we hold that trophy up. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 393 of the Talking Friars podcast and YouTube show. Ben Fadden with you here. It's May 9th, and we got a special guest on the show today. He is a pitcher in the Padres organization, pitches for the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, the High A affiliate for the Padres, Ryan Bergert. Ryan, thank you so much for joining the show.
Yep, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, of course. So just wanted to get started kind of talking about this season so far for you and the Tin Caps. I know you just made a start a couple days ago. Your numbers, I was looking at them, and they've been better so far this year than they were last year. I know it's a smaller sample size, obviously, and the minor league season starts even after the big league season starts. But has there been anything so far for you that you've changed compared to last year that has garnered this success for you?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit has to do with we cleaned up my delivery a little bit, got a little bit more efficient. I've been able to maintain velo a little bit better throughout my outings. Like last year, it would probably dip off towards the third inning or so, and this year I feel like I'm definitely more consistent with my velo, which kind of could be a result in this more success sort of thing. But still working through some things. Walks aren't a little higher than I would like them, but we're getting outs, putting up zeros, so it's been good so far.
Yeah, and so do you work on that like in the off season, or going into spring training? Like you're kind of given that assistance by some guys in the organization?
Right. Yeah. Our coordinators are always sending us new things to work on and stuff like that. So we've been implementing things. Beginning the off season to the middle of off season. Here and there, and then in spring training, I picked up a few things as well. So it's a constant learning curve whenever you're going throughout the org, and it can be challenging at times, but you're always learning, always changing something. Nothing's ever really staying exactly the same. So
who are those like main people that are helping you? Is it so the pitching coaches at the minor league level, but there's also some developmental guys as well?
Right. Yeah. There's Rob Marcello and Jose Rada. Those are our two pitching coordinators, and those are the kind of the top dogs, if you want to call them. They very, very smart minds. They know a lot about pitching, and every once in a while they'll come over and be like, "Hey, try this. How's that feel? It feels good." You kind of roll with it and see what it does. If the numbers are better, on TrackMan or in game, you keep going with it and kind of build off that. So those are probably the main two guys I've been working with.
So you've been enjoying your time so far in the organization?
Yeah, for sure. I've met a lot of good people. Obviously, since I've got here, things have been shaken up. Guys have got traded away. Faculty has went to different orgs, but I like the core guys we got right now. I feel like I have good relationships with a lot of them. So, I've had no problems with the organization.
Check out Gaglione Bros' famous cheesesteaks and garlic fries on Friars Road. You can visit their website, gaglionebros.com, for their entire menu and enjoy their cheesesteaks and fries at Petco Park and Snapdragon Stadium as well. Take me back, if you will, when you first got drafted by the Padres. I believe it was the 6th round. Were you surprised when you got drafted, like the round the Padres that the team drafted you? Just what was that like for you emotionally?
It was definitely interesting day, to say the least. Because obviously in college I was coming off of a surgery, and I had just finished rehab, had thrown maybe a few bullpens, live AB sessions, and the draft came around. My agent was telling me like, "Hey, it's not 100%. If a team finds value in you, we'll see what we can get for you, but it's not 100% guaranteed for whatever. And so obviously I watched first round, kind of knew I wasn't going to get a call day one. Watch Merrill get drafted, not knowing that I would be there the following day with him in the same boat. But then day two rolls around, gets about third round. I started getting a few calls, not for really like the money I would sign for, so I just turned them down. Then fourth rolls around, kind of same deal. Fifth round rolls around, I get a few more calls. And then Padres call me in sixth. So we'll give you so-and-so dollar amount, and talk it over to my agent. He said it's probably the best deal I'm going to get. Could squeeze a little bit more out if I were to hold on, but then I'm really, really rolling the dice, going back to school. So, I said, let's do it. And that's kind of how it played out. Had a lot of family around me at the time, so I feel like I make the right decision for sure.
Yeah. What was that communication like with the Padres organization? Like, who were you speaking to first when you got drafted?
Well, at the time, the scouting director was Mark Connor,
Yep.
who he was one of the first guys I talked on the phone with, him and my area scout, Danny Sater. Those are probably the two main people I talked to, like first day of getting drafted, and then a few days after it would trickle in, like, who was it? I think the pitching coordinator at the time gave me a call or a text, and the farm director, I believe, gave me a call or text. And then they sent out my information. I was out there within 5 days of the draft out to Arizona, and then I met basically everybody else there. So,
yeah. And so those like first in-person meetings with people in the organization, you said coming off the Tommy John surgery, right?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
It was a repair. So,
okay.
The Tommy John surgery is typically the 12, 16-month range for recovery. The one I had done was a little bit less invasive, so it was more of a 8-month recovery. But if we want to get technical, it's not technically Tommy John, but I just call it Tommy John it's a lot easier for everybody. So
yeah. Okay. So after that, was there discussions of like just go over the discussions of, okay, how were the first steps going to happen in the organization? What were you going to do? Did they automatically come in with certain like recommendations on what they wanted you to improve on? Like, what are those first conversations like?
So the first ones, they were more, they wanted to get me out in the games, the AZL games, and just see me pitch, because obviously they hadn't seen a bunch. They've only seen a lot of film from before I was hurt, and they've seen bullpens and a few live AB sessions, but they wanted me to just get on the mound, get comfortable with my body again. So that's what I kind of did when I got to the AZL. It was like one time a week, go out, throw an inning. And then as I threw more and more, they started, tweaking a little thing here and there, but they didn't want to do anything crazy, obviously, because the arm was still coming off of rehab. A lot of change probably isn't the greatest thing for something like that. But yeah, just wanted to get me out there, get comfortable on the mound, and just maintain my health, I think, was the biggest thing for them. And that was kind of the same thing they were telling me the following year also. Just get through the full season, stay healthy. That's all we're really worried about. The numbers will come when they come. So that's kind of what they've been telling me ever since.
Yeah. What's been your favorite part so far just about being a professional baseball player in the minor leagues with the Padres?
I would say being able to, pick the brains of the people around me. A lot of guys I've been working with, coaches and players, have a lot of experience, a lot of baseball knowledge that I love picking their brains, in the dugout, at stretch, just asking little questions here and there, like what they saw the game the day before, stuff like that. And it's funny, a lot of the times they could tell you before the pitch is thrown what's going to happen on a certain play, because they've seen so much baseball. It's insane, but it's also fun.
Yeah. What's it like being a teammate with Jackson Merrill? Obviously, he's the Padres' top prospect. Padres fans got to see a lot of him in spring training if they were watching
Mhm.
those games. It seems like he is well beyond his years, baseball wise. How old is he? Like 19?
I think he's 19 or 20. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, obviously I got to know him pretty well when we first got drafted. Got introduced to everybody at the same time. Got to Arizona at the same time. Played with him in a little bit of AZL. Didn't play with him at all last year. He was, at Lakey. But he's a good kid. I enjoy. He's really good around the clubhouse. Fun to be around. Energetic. I got nothing really bad to say about him. He's really cool.
Yeah. Where do you hope to see yourself at the end of this year? And maybe, I know this is a long way down the road, but maybe end of next year, like where have the Padres organization kind of had that goal for you, or you're setting your own goals of where you want to be?
I wouldn't say it's just out there for common knowledge for everybody to know exactly where
Okay.
they're going to be with the organization. But obviously, I put goals for myself, and by the end of the year, I'd like to be in San Antonio, Double A. Obviously, the higher the better. You always want to shoot and make the big league roster, but you got to also be real. So I would probably by the end of this year, I'd like to be in San Antonio for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the time, Ryan. This has been episode 393 of the Talking Friars podcast and YouTube show, brought to you by Gaglione Bros Famous Cheesesteaks and Garlic Fries. I appreciate it. Good luck so far, or good luck the rest of the season, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.